All right, everyone, the legacy media is desperate to stop Trump still. They're also desperately addicted, like a bunch of literal, like, crack addicts to the tabloid stuff that Trump has managed to get them into. Like, he's turned every media outlet into the Inquirer at this point, or the Star, or the Weekly World News. It's really funny. It's kind of exactly what you would expect from a Trump presidency. The intrigue really isn't generated by Trump. It's artificially made. When he's not doing anything exciting, so that they get their daily scoop about some crazy shit he supposedly did, they construe it as crazy, they have to make up something else. So now their thing is they get a porn star in. They record her having a polygraph test, and they're like, oh, did you have unprotected sex with Donald Trump? Oh, yes, I did. Oh, it checks out on a polygraph, therefore it must be true. Now, there are several problems with this situation. The first one is that they're expecting people to care about a years-old affair, which I don't think the average person does. Was it consensual? Yes. Are they both adults? Yes. I don't really care. Honestly, I'm not surprised that Donald Trump sleeps around. Everyone knew that he did anyway. He sort of bragged about it for, 2 decades. He's like, yeah, I'm Big Don. I can sleep with people. They throw themselves at me because they want me to buy them a car, so they let me grab their ass. It's consensual behavior. It could be creepy, you could say. Immoral, if you believe in sexual morality, after a fashion different from that. But I mean, Donald Trump is Donald Trump. He's a big a Manhattan playboy, basically. All of the other politicians and business heads act in similar manners. Don't let them kid you. A lot of these people that are pretending to be outraged wish that they could do what Trump does, as far as women go. But polygraphs aren't even admissible in court for a reason. In the court of public opinion they are. This was pointed out on the story half a dozen times across the net from what I was seeing. Yeah, the court of public opinion is, oh, well, this means that they had sex. Well, no, that's actually not what it means, but I'm willing to take it on a token that they did. Yeah, Trump screwed Stormy Daniels and this other model or whatever she is, and a bunch of other people too. He screws people and gropes them and does all sorts of stuff. There's a video of that they had for some Republican fundraiser, I believe, some time ago. And it's of Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani's there dressed as a woman, and Trump's like doing weird stuff with him too. I mean, this is the funniest thing ever. That's just sort of the way Trump works. But keep this in mind. Would this be considered newsworthy by CNN and the Washington Post and all these other groups if it were anyone other than Donald Trump? If someone had come forth and said, well, yeah, I fucked Obama 10 years ago, and tabloid style, they put them under a polygraph, say, oh yeah, checks out, they had sex with Obama. Would any of these groups report on it? Absolutely not. Because it wasn't the style of the presidency. The corporate media actually liked him because he was, he's a neoliberal. He's like they are. He likes billionaires. As far as Trump, he is a billionaire, and that's not what they're used to dealing with. They're used to separating the big money donor class, the business class, from the political class for the pragmatic purposes of news reporting. They don't like the two to mix, it seems, unless it's Mark Cuban. For some reason, he gets a pass. I don't think he'd get a pass for very long, despite being on the left, by the way. Despite being a globalist. But yeah, porn star polygraph. What a wonderful media that we have in this country. Yes, they're very journalistic, very professional. They're certainly not acting like tabloids that they used to attack for clickbait. They're certainly not acting like the weird side of YouTube, doing tag flooding and shit like that in order to get 10 extra views. Nope, this is totally journalistic and credible. An inadmissible machine is used on a porn star, someone who has sex for a living, in order to indicate that Trump years and years ago had an affair. That's totally newsworthy. It's relevant to the presidency. Yeah, the fact that he screwed somebody, however many years ago, that's relevant to his presidency today. No, I don't think so. I think it's clickbait nonsense. It's funny, though. They're playing his game. Without using his name, essentially. They've turned into like mini Donald Trumps when it comes to the tabloid side of the presidency. I wonder if anyone close to Trump, like some of his former associates, like he was associated with the Stern Show, I wonder if Stern's going to come out at some point and point that out, how funny it is that the way in which the corporate media has been acting has become very similar to the groups that they used to attack, and that's exactly what Trump wants. He wants them to act like the Inquirer. It totally disarms them. A lot of individuals within society aren't receptive to that kind of bullshit. Those that are already didn't like Trump. He has nothing to lose. So he's going to keep saying off-the-wall stuff. It's like today. And this wasn't even Trump saying something off the wall. Joe Biden said, oh, I could put Donald Trump down in a fight. You know, so Joe Biden is trying to be like Trump, in other words. Again, nobody even notices this. 75-year-old geriatric creepy Joe Biden says, well, I would have beaten Trump up in high school for mistreating women. Now, this is a total projection, dude. If ever there was psychological projection from a politician, it's probably Joe Biden's statement, because I can look at 1,000 pictures and video clips of Joe Biden being creepy around females. And at least with Trump, they're all adults. At least with Trump, there's no other funny business going on. Apparently, he just likes, you know, models and people who are, she's 20, maybe we had Chardonnay or something, so that might be a problem, but. You know, she was like this young model, she's an adult, yeah, I grabbed her by the pussy. That's what Donald Trump does. But it's consensual behavior. Meanwhile, with Joe Biden, you've got all these pictures of him squishing people's shoulders, getting a little too touchy-feely, especially during photo shoots for some odd reason. It's like, oh yeah, get into Uncle Joe, you know, come stand right beside me, squish. It's kind of creepy. Joe Biden, though, he's 5 years older than Donald Trump and claims he can take him in a fight. Number one, I highly doubt that. If they were to actually have a fight, my money would be on Trump simply because he's 5 years younger. He's also physically larger than Joe Biden. Joe Biden is older, physically smaller. He'd be at a disadvantage. That's just the clear truth. It's like Bernie Sanders is, oh, I'm going to beat up that Joe Kennedy for not being socialistic enough. His father would be ashamed. So goes, punches him in the neck or something, and then gets caned to the floor. No, Joe Biden is not impressing anyone. Now, that shtick stopped working when Obama was no longer in the presidency. Obama, yeah, probably could take Trump in a fight, you know, considering I think he's, 20 years younger. Also, you know, quite a commanding in stature. Joe Biden's not, though. He's an old man. But Joe Biden starts it. What does the press say today? The press ruminates on it and says, oh, Trump responded to it. They focus on what Trump said. You know, when Joe Biden says, well, I would have beaten him to the ground for mistreating women. Oh, haha, yeah, that's pretty cool, Joe. You know, wow, Joe Biden was such a cool vice president because he says off-the-wall shit. Then Trump responds and says, you know, stop, you know, threatening to us. He's threatening to assault me. He's, you know, I would put him to the ground and he'd be crying the whole way. And people are like, oh, bully Trump. Trump is trying to bully the former vice president. What are you talking about, dude? Joe Biden started that shit. But see, the tabloid press isn't going to admit to that, and the tabloid press loves this sort of shit. They pretend that they don't love the fact that Trump is in the White House. If push came to shove, they probably wouldn't want him impeached if the Mueller probe came forward with proof he did collude with Russia. They'd start, all of a sudden you'd see them flip around, they'd be like, we're not so sure that this is good for the stability of the nation. Maybe we should just, you know, let it go. It's, you know, in the past. You know, there's nothing we can do about it now. You know, we don't want a Vice President Mike Pence because that's boring. They probably would. No. Porn star Polygraph. Joe Biden, the big man. Yeah, this is such a big guy. Yeah, okay. It's totally believable. There's no bias in the press at this point. None whatsoever. Totally fair. Totally up to ethical journalistic standards. No tabloid shit here. That's about all. Peace out.